Did you both get my message about needing a match for class? Yeah. Did you get the message, Mark? No. Okay. For the yoga class, please can you have a match? Okay. Just find yourself this morning in any position that feels comfortable for you. Choosing to bring the hands onto the legs and perhaps turning the palms up, or if they feel more intuitively to face down, then leave them there. And we're just going to find a small amount of movement to begin with. I'd like you to really focus down onto your sit bones. Start to invite a tiny, tiny amount of movement in a circle around the sit bones. Really tiny, so we're not moving our shoulders, we're not moving our weights. Just imagine drawing your belly forward and back. And then slowly start to go the other way. Micro movements. Good, go back the other way and start to make it a little bit bigger. Maybe start to tilt the pelvis forward, side and back. And then maybe the waist starts to get involved and we make this a slightly bigger movement. Eventually starting to move the shoulders forward to the side and back. Just finding a circle. And then going the other way. Moving in one direction. Really focusing on that pelvis as you move around the sit bones, around the base of the pelvic floor. And perhaps start to make the circle smaller. Smaller again until you're sitting directly on top of the sit bones, shoulders slightly moving. Keep the shoulders still, just moving the belly. And then coming to settle into stillness again. Taking a really deep breath in, reaching both arms up overhead, draw the hands up high. And as you exhale, draw them down in front of you. 3 more times. Inhale, reach up high. Exhale, draw that energy in and down. 2 more. Inhale to reach up. Exhale to come down. 1 more time. Make it a really big one. Reach everything up and pull it all down. Release the hands to rest. I'd like you this morning to focus on sounds around us. To learn how to tune the mind, to become aware of the sounds we want to hear. To be able to tune out the sounds that might assault our senses as we find our way back into the world outside. So starting by simply observing the sound of your own breath. Tuning out any other sounds, really try and listen to whether you're breathing through your nose or your mouth. where the sound comes from, how it feels in the body. Slowly start to tune to the next closest sound that you can hear. Perhaps it's a clock. Perhaps it's a family member or someone you're in your home with moving things. So perhaps become aware of which side of your body is hearing the sound. Is it evenly coming into both ears? Is it predominantly on one side? And how does it make you feel? Tuning out again, going slightly broader, finding the next sound that you can hear that's slightly further away. Trying to tune out the other sounds that you've heard before. Tuning further away to the sound that's furthest from you. Maybe it's cars passing your home, maybe it's birds outside, maybe it's even further away depending on where you've been to before. But again, trying to focus on that and ignoring everything else that you've been hearing. focusing on how that sound makes you feel. Noticing whether the mind is able to concentrate on it or if it starts to wander to other sounds, other thoughts, and try to gently draw it back. And then slowly bring your attention to the next closest sound, maybe one you heard before, maybe it's a new sound that you're aware of. But just taking a moment to focus in on it. Allow it to consume the mind and fill the ears. Notice how the mind and your heart react to it. Tuning yourself again slightly closer to you. If it's a familiar sound that you recognize, maybe see if you can notice something about it that you hadn't before. Tune yourself to the next closest sound to your body that you're aware of. Focus in on it and let every other sound disappear behind it. And then lastly, bring yourself home. Bring yourself back to the sound of the breath as it moves through your body. And notice the sound, become aware of how it feels as the air drifts out. Now allowing your ears to open to all the sounds around you. And perhaps choosing one you'd like to particularly focus on. We're capable of any moment in time in many ways, not always, but in many ways, of choosing the reality that we live with. In a world full of sound, beat, buzzing, external noises that we might not enjoy, it's easy to allow them to shift our mood. And actually learning how to differentiate sound and develop a real opportunity to tune in and acknowledge the sounds we want to hear and make louder. We can create and alter the reality that we live with. How some people can walk through a wood next to a busy road and not hear the road, and simply hear birdsong instead. Whereas for others, all they can hear is the road, and it shifts their mood. Very slowly start to take a full, deep inhale, expanding the belly, opening and rising the chest and the collarbones. And as you exhale, let it all back out. 2 more times. Inhale, expand the belly, open and lift the chest. Exhale. 1 more time. Inhale, fill. Exhale. Extend the arms in front of you. Bring your hands together and gently rub them to create some heat. Bring the fingers over the eyes. Blink the eyes open into that warm, dark space. And when you feel ready, start to part the fingers, let light back in. And then draw the hands down.